cheated on by the sweetest person I have known. I paid for the gas she was using to have sex with other people. She slept with 5 people right after I got fat. I met her when she was 18, I had just turned 21. It was sort of that instant love that just felt insanely right for all of the right reasons. We told each other that we loved each other after only 2 weeks. Soon after we met, I had to move to NYC as I was graduating and beginning my career. Long distance was never an issue for us, we'd see each other at least once a month, we were able to spend a lot of time together. She became my human to take care of, a reminder of why I work long hours, and my answer to the question of what's the point? Let's call she B from now on. B always struggled with depressive episodes, a lot of it centering on issues with friends and past trauma, but some of it from within and couldn't always be explained. B had begun school in 2019, so COVID, coupled with her school's draconian safety rules, essentially took her college experience from her. She always struggled with the concept of missing out, symptom of a generation that watched too many TV shows about young adulthood. She struggled with who she was and believed that, since her friends had such stark dressing styles, edgy haircuts and tattoos, that she lacked the personal depth of those around her, was absolutely not true, but was something she got stuck on. It's now looking likely that she's bipolar. Fast forward about 2 years into our relationship, and I'm finally moving back to the area that we went to college in for work. I'm beyond elated, because I finally get to be near the person that I thought would be my forever. Initially, to save some money, I thought it a good idea to live with my parents. However, the reality of doing that was basically becoming a cave person. I stayed at home all day, didn't shave, lost my career ambition, and got fat. This was around the time the infidelity started, but unfortunately, didn't know for quite some time after. B began expressing some discontent with the state of our relationship around October of 2021. She said she needed space to hang out with her friends more, and that she was too stressed with school to keep her job. Understanding the difficulties of doing her major, I agreed to start paying for her living expenses so she didn't have to drive to my parents anymore, get a $3,500/month apartment in the nearby city after Christmas. I told her that after Christmas break, things will get better. I just needed to stop smoking weed, get my ambition back, and move into the city so we could do fun stuff again. After Christmas break, when B got up, I surprised her with a really nice trip to the Caribbean for spring break. I told her that I fully planned to keep all of my promises and get better. I wanted to keep her no matter what. However, I did notice some strange behavior changes in her attitude, and I started to get suspicious that something was happening. The signs are always crazy obvious retrospectively, but never something you want to believe, so you don't, you ignore them instead. We'd always call each other before bed, but around this time, B would just be a ghost on random nights. She'd text me early the next morning, sorry fell asleep studying, or sorry my phone died. She'd go out and not text me that she got home alright, or send the usual silly drunk texts. She'd come over one night after having been out and her lock screen background was no longer a photo of me. The intermittent period between the start of her spring semester and spring break was me trying to turn things back into our old relationship, fun brunches and dinners, trying new experiences, shopping while trying to ignore all of the above and not be suspicious. There was one night though that I had a full-blown panic attack while she was at a concert. I texted her at 8 p.m., didn't hear anything until 10, when she said was on her way, and didn't arrive until 2 a.m., concert venue was 10 minutes away. She, to this day, swears nothing happened that specific night. She also promised me that night that nothing had ever happened. So we go on this trip together, end of March, and it is truly one of the best times I've ever had. We reconnected romantically, sexually, and align on what we want out of the world. But, on the final night, I discover some pretty disturbing Reddit posts that she's posted, not saying I should have done this, but this prompted me to check her phone. I noticed from emails that she's downloaded Tinder several times since November 2021, February 2022. I frantically wake her up, and start asking what the heck is going on. Sobbing and begging, she promises me that she's never cheated and wants to spend the rest of her life with me. I ask her to swear on her family's life, and she does. Knowing her, I left it there. I didn't think she had the capacity to lie on the lives of her family. The next few months after the trip were pretty much back to normal us. Of course I was hurt that she'd been messaging people on Reddit and was on Tinder, but I really couldn't, and still can't, see my life without her, so I brushed it off and took her word. She moved in with me in May of this year. Living together was amazing, We had no issues doing it, had a ton of fun, and life was really starting to feel like it was falling into place. We go to her parents' house for the 4th of July and then the plan was to fly to my sister's wedding the following weekend. On the night of July 4th, we're scrolling through old photos and there's this one that pops up. It's a sexual picture that, given the angle, she could never have taken by herself. She initially lies and says it's not her, but I mean, I know what her butt looks like. The timestamp is February 1. The story she tells is that she'd been taken advantage of by this guy. Given the content of the photo, I found it really hard to believe, but it was also an easy thing for me to swallow and place my anger elsewhere. A few days later, through a lot more lying and me crying, I go through her phone again and discover what I missed during the trip. It wasn't just this one guy one time, but it was several people throughout this 4-month period of infidelity. The cheating began right after Thanksgiving when I met her entire extended family. She cheated on me with 5 people, one of which she saw several times, and a lot of it was happening during the period that I was so suspicious of. After I had gotten the apartment and was trying with all my strength to save our relationship. Picture this, I paid for the gas she was using to have sex with other people. I was planning our vacation while she was being unfaithful. Yet, I hate that she's not in my life now. I feel like I could just let it all go if she came back. But she doesn't want to anymore. She says she can't look at me because of what she did to me. I'm not sure if anyone made it this far, but I guess my question centers on this: why do I still want to be with her? Why does every date and every person I meet now just seem boring and uninteresting? Why do I still miss her so much? Why do I have such little self-worth?